All right, welcome everyone to Zelda Speedruns. Today we're hosting a Breath of the Wild Any Percent fun race to commemorate the starting of our annual Any Percent tournament. On comms today we've got Tao and Just Call Me MB. How you guys doing?
I'm doing well, ADN. How are you, MB?
Yeah, I'm kind of cozy, enjoying the light amount of rain outside. I know around the world there may be heavier amounts of rain happening, but like something comfy here, cozy.
All right. So, as ADN mentioned, this is a friendly community race to warm up for the start of our annual Any Percent tournament, which is scheduled to start in about a week and a half. With open qualifiers, and we felt like, well, let's give some opportunity to runners who haven't participated in one of our tournaments before, an opportunity to kind of get a feel for what a race is. And actually, here we have 4 runners who have not been in a tournament yet. We've got Auntie, we've got Flavian, Jeg in the bottom left, and Xiao Mi in the bottom right. MB, what are you looking forward to for this race?
I'm looking forward to people just trying out strats. I feel like in a fun race like this, there's a little less pressure. You're not trying to qualify for the tournament yet, so it might be time you can really go for the strats, right? You can try to bust out the best moves, the fastest time saves. So I think we'll see some of those brave moves. And if people played safe too, thinking it is a race, yeah, I understand that too. So we'll see what we get.
All right, and our race timer has started. We're going to try to sync up the streams a little bit, but just to explain, this is fastest to defeating Ganon at the very end. We expect, kind of with the records that these runners have shown before, that this race will probably take about 30 minutes, likely less. I know, as a verifier for the leaderboard, I know Flavian just posted a PB of around 28 minutes. Xiao Mi is a runner that has posted top times in a bunch of different categories, and has top times in Any Percent, as well as Any Percent Master Mode. So really excited to see what these runners have in store for us. Yeah, and MB, you mentioned there's always a tension between risk management in a race, how what choices our runners make to deviate from their PB strats. So we'll try to highlight those as we go along.
Yeah, I missed a little bit of what you said there. Just confirming, you can hear me, right?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, all good. Yeah, we've got our runners picking up their Sheikah slate. So, like we said, I mean, our only requirement is that they beat Ganon, but the game has other requirements for them. To be able to beat Ganon, they have to pick up their runes.
And I think for the most part, some other parameters for the race, we are, I guess, we'll just double check. This was meant to be a no amiibo race. So if you're familiar with Breath of the Wild, Any Percent, the top times are done with amiibo to get the required ingredients for an attack up meal. But over the past year, the amiibo and no amiibo routes have essentially converged on each other. They are pretty much the same, except for one small difference, which we'll see after the runners obtain the paraglider. And so the general plan for this race and for the tournament as a whole is for it to be run without amiibo, unless the runners agree to use it. And in total, probably the use of amiibo saves maybe 20 to 30 seconds. I'm going to guess it's not something that's been really timed very well.
Wow, that is such a little difference compared to the past. Fascinating. Speaking of differences, we have most of our runners headed to the Temple of Time. I'm kind of doing the traditional, the new traditional, I should say, route to go to the Temple of Time first.
Yeah,
We do have,
I'm not quite sure what Jeg is
yeah,
doing.
one,
Right now, I'm like trying to remember if I noticed that he's doing any kind of master mode for this race. Because currently his running path is taking him to Magnesis, whereas we see Xiao Xiaomi start the BLSS, Flavian right about to do it, to get to bombs.
right, and even the old plateau, quote unquote, would go to Stasis first. It's rare to see anyone go to Magnesis first, actually.
Yeah, Magnesis is something that's done in the master mode any percent, because you use Magnesis in order to carry a boulder to kill a Lionel. And you
Yeah,
take the
you need it for
Lionels.
two reasons. Not only
Yeah,
getting the boulder over, but then also to smash that Lionel with some very well-timed headshots.
yeah. And okay, so we'll see if that's Jeg's plan or if this is some different routing that they prefer. Xiao Xiaomi is having a really tough time getting this bombs clip here. Had to clip out and reset skew now twice, which has allowed Flavian and Anti to catch up in this early game. Speaking of risk mitigation here, it'd be interesting for the three runners who are in bombs, what kind of wind bomb they do in order to get to the end. This looks like Flavian's going to go straight for a gamer wind bomb. Flavian did pick up peppers at the BOGO camp, so he can... Oof. So he has some backup food in case health is a little iffy. Anti goes for the normal wind bomb, but doesn't get it. I don't know if he forgot to do a quick fix for Ragdoll there.
Ooh, and the fall damage.
Yeah, the failing the wind bomb the first time, and it looked like Anti didn't have food, so it was just kind of hoping that he didn't take a lot of damage on the fall. But Xiao Xiaomi makes it
Unfortunately,
all the way to the end on gamer wind bomb.
the game at least does give them an autosave after
Yeah.
they get the rune, so they don't have to watch that cutscene again. However, this has allowed Zhao Zhaomi to be back in front.
Yeah, and Jeg has finished Magnesis. Pancake in chat is asking us to explain Ragdoll, and no.
Yeah, I'll let you do that, Tom. I mean, I can give you my basic understanding of it, but I'm sure it would not do it justice. So.
For a full explanation, this would take us to the end of the race and beyond.
True. It's very true. But this is a Zelda speedrun. We're used to complicated glitches, right? Come on.
All right, a lot of kind of uneven play in the first split, but it puts our runners roughly at the same place, all with one shrine done. So we're going to see what Jeg's plan is here. Oh, okay. So looks like Jeg is he's going to swim across and he's going to make his way to bombs. So just doing a slightly different order. possibly to avoid the awkward BLSS that the other three runners are going to do to Stasis. It was something I remember talked about in the Discord about a different strat for runners who didn't like the bliss up the hill, which we'll see after the end of this shrine.
Yeah, bliss is might be a relatively easy trick to get, but that particular bliss is a little trickier, just because of the control required once you're in the air. I
All right,
definitely do not
again.
blame him.
Right, Jake has some running to do. I looked away. I imagine he ended up there from Bomb's BTB and had a little rough angle and had to run the rest of the way. Inside mag, there are 2 different wind bombs our runners could choose to do. One a little more riskier than the other, and they could also do the normal run through. But Xiao Mi is going to go for the fastest strat, known as Canal Wind Bomb, and barely gets over the wall.
Beautiful. That's one where you're just willing, Link, to just go a little farther. Come on. Make it over.
Okay. Flavian doing the quick fix, and I don't know if that was intentional. Complete clear of the ragdoll glitch to go for Canal.
Nancy, on the other hand, is going
Anti
for
is just going to run through,
Yep.
and Flavian looks like after missing it the first time is not going to try for a second time. Is going to run through. Jag is at bombs, so we'll see which style wind bomb he chooses there. Xiao B is going to start this BLSS. Okay, was a little late on that input there.
So the goal being to get to the Stasis Shrine, which is kind of on the far side of the Temple of Time. So we're just going to curve our way through this gap. And there's the hill that we're talking about,
Oh
which
yeah,
caused a little bit of slowdown for him. We can see why some people do not like this.
yeah. The challenge with this BLSS is you're trying to change direction while going as fast as you can, and then you have to continue to accelerate as you go up the hill. But then you have sort of a maze of trees to try to avoid. Xiao Mi picking up a backup pot lid.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I don't see that
Before
often,
climbing
but
to this
again, I mean,
tree.
safety in races, I definitely understand. Having some backup options is definitely. Oh,
Yeah.
mm,
So this is
mm.
probably the one remaining hard trick. I mean, they're all hard tricks, but like the hardest trick on plateau here is this tree wind bomb.
I
Easy to
will
get the
say he
timing
went for
wrong.
a slightly different tree. I think.
There are 2 trees. There's this white one, and then there's a brown one there. Uh, both can be used. This white tree is, as we see, anti-missed this wind bomb as well. The white tree, I
Beautiful.
think, provides like a slightly more advantageous angle, but is a little harder to climb.
Yeah, that's right. With all the clipping
Oh yeah.
issues, it definitely made sense to pick up the pot lid.
One thing to compare between Xiao Mi and Anti there. So when Xiao Mi missed the tree wind bomb the first time, he made a manual save while he was still in the air. The manual save records the last safe coordinates that the game thought he was at, which was right at the bottom of the tree, so he could respawn right there. Anti just loaded his last autosave, which was unfortunately a much further away from the tree, and so he had to restart a BLSS in order to make it here. So he misses again. Yeah. So okay. I'm sorry. Flavian misses, makes the manual save. Yeah. So a little bit of a strat for missing that wind bomb, just to make sure that the game respawns you at the right coordinates.
And now we're seeing the stasis wind bomb. And Xiaomi getting right to that shrine stair. Oh my goodness. It's beautiful. Flavian has his stasis rune. Just has to get to the end. Now Jeg is also doing his wind bomb up the cliff, and he chooses the brown tree.
All right, Flavian had a little bit of trouble with some snapback on his controller, but was able to catch it in just in time. He makes it to the end. Looks
Xiaomi
like
getting a quick ride for a boulder. Get to the top of the hill. And Auntie is in the shrine.
yeah, Auntie and Jeg entered the shrine roughly around the same time. Ooh, Flavian misses the first arrow shot. Barely has enough time to climb onto the boulder before the stasis timer runs out. Missing the arrow shot is not not the end of the world. The route actually has more normal arrows than the runners actually need. So you'll see in PB attempts, runners actually find opportunities to waste arrows so that they can enter the boss rush with the optimal number. Whether or not our runners do that or decide to hold on to some extra arrows for safety, we'll see.
Big difference from past routes. Wow.
Yeah, before we were praying at one point we were praying for the RNG to give us as many arrows as possible, and now we actually have in the top runs runners actually just shooting arrows away because they don't want them they want to run out of arrows at the right time.
Xiaomi taking the fastest possible path from the rune to the end of the shrine. It's actually just pretty much straight above where you start out, instead of having to go the long way around through the maze.
Okay, Auntie and Jeg neck and neck at the Cryo BLSS. Xiaomi finished with Cryo Split and is going to head to the Paraglider.
Yeah, the nice thing about ending here at Krynos is that the Temple of Time is actually lower than where you are. So there's no climbing required. Now, that doesn't mean you're a little too high, but not too bad of a problem.
Tough camera work for Xiaomi here. Putting the camera towards the sky to reduce the world loads as they approach the Temple of Time. A bit of some blind navigation there. So, but whew.
Pulls it off.
Yep. And the throwing of the spear there is optimal. The runners do not want that to take that spear into castle. So I guess we'll see. We actually this race was kind of this race is pretty casual and sort of thrown together. We didn't actually confirm with the runners whether or not we're doing no amiibo, so we'll see what Xiaomi does right now. Okay, this looks like a no amiibo. Yeah, a no amiibo BLSS. So the amiibo route would generally drop down after Paraglider and scan amiibo.
Yeah, I know Flavian and Jeg for sure. No, it's no Amiibo. We'll see about the others.
It's sort of like I know, at least for a while, runners were scanning Amiibo in a whole bunch of different places. Yeah. The tournament is meant to be no Amiibo. I'm just saying we didn't actually confirm with the runners that it was going to be a no Amiibo run. But it looks like Xiaoxiami has these 2 Razor Shrooms, going to run to another tree to get another 2 Razor Shrooms, and then start a BLSS to Castle. Whereas the Amiibo route would just go straight to Castle from the Temple of Time. The no Amiibo route is nice in that it sort of removes any RNG from the Amiibo scans. So runners could lose time when like one runner gets their required ingredients in 2 scans, whereas another needs 4 or 5. So the no Amiibo route actually removes that RNG completely. The only point in the run that the runners don't have complete control over is this one that's coming up for Flavian and Xiaoxiami, which is whether or not this gate will be loaded.
Beautiful. Zhao Zhami gets so much unloaded. Chooses to actually pick up this claymore and attack the moblin, and then these get castle load. Wow.
Yeah, that strat to headshot the moblin eliminates the need to kind of like slow walk to the moblin to sneak strike it, and also wastes an arrow, which is again something the runners want to do.
Yeah, whether or not the gate was loaded in was a big thing for the last any percent tournament. We saw definitely lots of times where the gate would kind of troll people. So that is something that is still a part of this route.
Yeah, hopefully, we'll get a lot more data with this year's tournament. But when the tournament started last year, we were still doing BTBs. BLSS hadn't been discovered yet, and then BLSS was discovered during the tournament, and a lot of runners changed their route between rounds. So I can imagine some early loaded castle gates might have been from unfamiliarity with BLSS. So now that the community's had a year to improve their techniques, I wonder if that means that we'll see loaded gate less this year or not.
I think that's a fair assumption.
Xiaoxiami had a clean out of bounds movement. 2 wind bombs up to Zelda's room. And then the wind bomb to Sanctum.
So in the case that you've never watched a Breath of the Wild any percent run, if you don't know anything, so what they have to do is fight the 4 Blights and Calamity Gammon. However, they need a lot of weapons to do that, and so the castle here, fortunately, has all of those, just not in one place, of course. And so the runners have a choice of kind of exactly where they want to go to pick up those required weapons and things. And now we see Zhao Zhami is already taking on Windblight. And by taking on, we mean really cheating the game again.
Yeah, so Xiaoxiami skips Wind Blight, but will fight the other 3 Blights. And just for context, right now, Xiao Mi, just from a route standpoint, it is far ahead of the other runners. Anti is just making his way to Castle. But the boss rush is, Flavian takes a death there. The boss rush is very unforgiving. So if Xiao Mi were to, say, take a death in Calamity, that would set him back far enough that Anti would catch up. So it is an unforgiving speed run in that sense. There are no autosaves once the boss rush begins.
Yeah, there are 2 places in the game where you can't really autosave, basically. Well, probably a little more, but the main 2 that tend to troll our players is it's right here and then on Eventide Island.
Anyway, just to point out a difference that we haven't mentioned yet, Flavian and Jag went for 6 ancient arrows in their route. It takes a safer line through Castle, doesn't go out of bounds. Gives up about 20 seconds to the out of bounds movement when we saw Xiao Mi do. All right. Does Xiao Mi get fast fire bite? Does not. I forget exactly what our Gamba was.
That was
It's something to do with
it was who gets the first fast fire blight cycle. We're already
Flavian
seeing the weapon and just the durability. Really the importance of that. These runners are going to be switching between their weapons at certain times just to make sure that they have the right amount of durability for each phase of the fights.
Anti also going for 6 ancient arrows. Flavian successful on Windbite skip and is on the boss rush.
Xiao Mi is already taken down Thunderblight and is now ready for Calamity.
Okay, so right now the race is Xiao Mi's to lose. Far ahead as long as they have a clean Calamity fight. Well, we'll see. Gonna run back here, grab the bomb arrows, and we want to see headshots as we strafe over to the Claymore.
Like I said, the castle has many of the weapons that you need, some of which are actually right here in the arena.
Really good. Landed all three ancient arrow headshots. Broke the bow. That is optimal. And then needed one more boomerang throw to finish the phase. Gets a physical attack first. That's the second best option. And needs to hit this parry in order to start the stun lock. Great.
So he had used up all of his arrows that would have taken Calamity off the wall. Is that correct?
Yeah. He only had like one bomb arrow after the ancient arrow headshots.
Okay. One chance.
Yeah. At this point, the Calamity fight is routed to optimally not allow Calamity to ever get to the wall.
Okay.
Which makes any other mistake a little more punishing, because if Calamity does go to the wall in phase 1, our runners really don't have the firepower to take Calamity down.
Right. So all of our runners are here at the boss rush. We see Jeg taking a death to the boss rush, though. Starting over back at the Windbite Skip.
All right, Xiao Sha Mi into Dark Beast. That sounded like good pre-fires. I had Xiao Sha Mi's stream kind of glitch a little bit. Okay.
On the other hand, Flavian getting excellent headshots. Listening into his.
Yeah, you notice the difference in the between the 6AA and the Flavian misses that parry. Did their shield survive? Yeah, it did. So gets a second shot at it. Flavian now running around looking for the shield.
Avoiding some tornadoes, you know.
Yeah, it's somewhere.
Oh boy. Found a shield.
Okay, needs to dodge these tornadoes. At least has a... Oh boy. Yeah, I don't think there's another shield in Sanctum.
Yep.
That's a rough reload there.
Apologies for any spoilers that we might be causing.
Okay, GG Xiao Sha Mi. Maybe we should pull up the stream, the actual stream, so we don't
to make sure that we're not
spoil
spoiling.
anymore.
Can do. I already did. Got some love in the chat for Flavian. And Anti is on to Calamity.
All right, gets the 6 Ancient Arrow headshots right off at the beginning. I'm just going to throw in a Flurry Rush here. Flurry Rush is a safety strat. It's not needed. Anti has the firepower to finish phase 1 without it, but it does take the pressure off these headshots. Yeah, so you see there, Xiao Sha Mi would have Xiao Sha Mi broke the Royal Guard's Claymore, and Anti was able to finish phase 1 without breaking it, meaning he had a little bit of firepower left over from that Flurry Rush.
This boss rush is no joke.
Yeah, with all of the advances we've made in tech and strats, this boss rush remains punishing, especially in a race scenario. Okay, Anti is into Dark Beast. All right, Jeg trying to dance with Calamity here.
And that is why we're having some of these fun races, to kind of iron out some of those kinks. We had a runner finish, and then I think we never actually got it marked that, he had finished, so.
Jag into the stun lock. Looks good so far. Yeah, I don't know if anyone got fast fire blight either. Honestly, too much has been going on to really notice it. Maybe
Yeah.
Flavian will get it. Maybe Flavian will get it in this run through of the boss rush. Okay, Anti coming on up on the final shot.
And GG's Auntie.
Flavian got it.
Beautiful.
Oof. Right into missing the first couple of hits on Thunderblight, but recovers really nicely. Oof. Jag is making me nervous. Jag is off his horse.
You let Jeff go.
Yeah, so the runners need bullet time for the final shot on Dark Beast. That can be accomplished by taking an updraft or... Jag, what are you doing? That can be accomplished by taking an updraft or jumping off the horse, and most runners take the option of jumping off the horse. So, okay, there we go, Jag.
GG's.
There we go. Flavian's got the parry in phase 1. The slam with the claymore. Oh. Rough time for Flavian. So I think he didn't really know where the menu wing was. Didn't get the throw, and then was caught as Calamity slammed down. Basically, our runners are looking for the throw of the claymore breaking on Calamity to stun Calamity, and knock Calamity out of that slam animation. Yeah, let's give Flavian our support. Like throw some hearts and hype in chat for Flavian. This has happened to all of us running any percent. The boss rush just keeps getting you, and it's tough to keep going. Especially as warm up for the tournament, our runners are probably going to have a situation where they die during the boss rush, their opponent dies during the boss rush, and it's going to be on who can, keep their mentality positive and strong and finish out, even when the run isn't going according to plan.
In the earlier phases of the tournament, the qualifying, we'll see that the runners will be having like their 3 best times is what actually qualifies them for the race. So the good news is that even in a qualifier, they can afford, as long as they have more than 3 qualifying matches, then they can afford to, lose a couple times or something. And yeah, definitely keeping that composure and carrying on is going to be very key. Post this penguin
For Flavian.
For Flavian.
Sure, I'll post a penguin.
Well, he did get fast fire blade cycle. Just really get it again.
Flavian can get fast fire blade 2 times. Excellent spins on Fireblight phase 1. Doesn't need the any follow-up swings. Got all of them on the first 2. Yeah, in Water Blight, we saw Flavian go into bullet time to get the final 3 headshots on Water Blight. Hey, 2 fast Fire Blights. That's 2 more than every other runner.
Well, it's definitely 1 more. We're not sure. Someone else might have gotten it. We'll ask in the post race if anyone else got it, but we know he got it more than anyone else.
All right, let's go again. Hit all 6 headshots. Movement is good to induce the slam and the laser. Bow is broken. Calamity does not want to throw a laser yet. Oh. Yeah, there's nothing Flavian can do here but wait.
And dodge.
Okay, there we go. Okay, this slam should end phase 1. All right, Calamity went through the wall phase 1. Doesn't need to go again in phase 2. Whoa. Oh, that is... Nothing is going right for Flavian. Sometimes Calamity just misses, which removes the ability for our runners to actually parry the laser. Okay. But Flavian knows the timing on the spear attack, gets it, and can start the stun lock. Yeah. Yeah, the spear parry looks cool because the animation just looks so unnatural. The spear just does an instant 180. And there we go. Flavian is in Dark Beast.
That has to feel good.
La noirceur de l'âme de Ganon enveloppe son corps. Cette aura le protège de toute attaque.
Okay, while we watch Flavian finish up Dark Beast, if any runners want to come into our voice channel and just talk about how the run went, by all means do so. And if you don't know where the Discord is, we'll send it to you somewhere.
Le pouvoir de Ganon s'affaiblit.
Hi, Anti.
Oh, hello.
Welcome, welcome. GG's.
Thank
GG's.
you. I feel like that run was like a bit... My run was kind of interesting. I like alternate, like I had in a kind of meh bombs, and then my magnesis was just really clean, and then I failed stasis wind bomb for 2 minutes, which it just kind of alternated between like good segments and then bad segments on plateau, and then at the end I just cruised through castle and bosses.
Yeah, I think everyone had a rough plateau. I don't think anyone made it through without like at least a couple of reloads here and there.
Yeah. Plateau under stress is just kind of hard.
Well, have you done races before, or was this your first time in race time and in a restream situation?
I think it was my first. This is my first time doing a speedrun race for Breath of the Wild. I have done like restreamed bingos, which MB might know about.
Yep. I definitely remember.
Yeah, but this was fun.
Glad to hear it.
All right, GG Flavian.
GG.
Yeah, it's really different being in a race. I don't know what it is, but just knowing that there are other runners running at the same time as you, knowing that this is something that people are watching, just changes the feel from what you're used to in PB attempts.
Yeah. I was doing quite a bit of no reset right before this in like a couple previous streams, so I think doing no reset kind of helped my mentality during this race.
I don't know if Jag or Flavian want to hop in for a little bit of an interview, or Xiao me.
Flavian's Ganon was pretty unfortunate. The scanning came in with the Stormtrooper aim, and then you just can't parry. That was unfortunate.
GG Flavian.
Yeah, GG.
Yeah, thanks.
Way
Such a
to
good fun.
way to pull through. What was going through your mind at the latter half of that run?
I'm kind of mad about that. Because, like, boss rush is the part I practice the most every day, and it's the part where I choke the most. So yeah. Other than that, I guess it was pretty good.
I mean, making it through that deserves some respect. And you got it on the third try, even with Calamity trolling you a bit along the way.
Yeah. I mean, it's just Calamity. I can't do anything about it, I guess.
All right. So, what are your goals for the tournament? I think first qualifier is going to come up on October 12th, so about like a week and a half from now. Anti, why don't we start with you? Like, what are you hoping to get out of the tournament this year?
Oh.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, you're fine. So my main goal out of this race is probably just gonna be a PB and kinda getting back into speedrunning. I did a lot over the summer, and then it kinda dropped off once school started. So I think for a time goal, maybe like, I don't know, a 28:30 or something like that would be my goal.
All right. So PB for you, getting back in. Flavian, what about you?
For this tournament, I guess I don't expect much since I'm still pretty new with this speedrun. I only started like a month ago or something. It would be
Started a
cool
month
if I
ago?
win some races. Yeah, I think so. I'm a pretty fast learner, but the consistency isn't keeping up with it. So yeah, it's pretty bad. I just don't want to choke at boss rush again in the tournament, and that will make it happy, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, that's great progress for just a month with this game. Well, we're looking forward to seeing more of your runs in this tournament.
Yeah,
MB, anything
I'll
you're
do my
hoping to
best.
see this year in this tournament?
No,
I don't
I'm
know.
honestly, I'm always like amazed. The players and like, yeah, like you just say, like a month, like that's amazing that our community's gotten to the point that we can, get the strats out and like, just share all of that. So I definitely think that we'll see some PBs is the
Mhm.
cool thing about the tournament and just how it we're obviously the main goal is to find the fastest person in the tournament. But along the way we'll get some PBs and some fun things. In the meantime, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I think it might be a little much for me to hope for another new amazing glitch that will completely reroute this category again this year. I anticipate this year the route and the strats will be much more stable. But no, we can hope. We can hope.
Yeah, you never know. I mean, it is sadly October 1st. It's
Yeah,
been
September
predicted
passed
in
without a new broken glitch being found in Breath of the Wild. It's unprecedented.
yeah.
There is a funny thing which like has happened that I kind of found out. If you in like the final shot for Ganon, if you press like Y like a real in a specific time frame, then it'll put like the defeated Ganon text over the final cutscene. Like there's that little thing where it shows the quest is done. It just like puts
Yeah.
that over the final cutscene. It's pretty funny.
Not that's cool, and also not on the same level as BLSS.
Yeah.
Okay, Anti and Flavian, thanks for joining us for this interview. Thanks for running today in our community race. Shout out to Jeg and Xiao Me as well for putting up good runs. Yeah, and for everyone watching, our tournament starts October 12th, and qualifiers and subsequent rounds will be here on ZSR. So, ADN, anything else from you?
It's fine. Just GG, I guess.
I think you got everything. Let me wait. Oh gosh, my echo. I will at least give you guys. I thought I had that pasted. Aha! Here are the signups for the tourney for anyone else who is interested. I think we have about 32 participants right now, so should be a pretty good one so far. There's some real gamers in that lineup, so it's going to be pretty interesting this year. But yeah, just keep up to date. You can check everything on the schedule, and we will go ahead and raid our friend CobChamp, who I think is doing AMQ. And thanks so much, everyone.
Have a good day.
Yeah.